Hey everyone, Richard Robbins here. Well, the numbers are in for the Edmonton Real Estate Board for the month of October. Now, before I get started, I've got a brand new line graph that I created, which is going to be the last slide, which is going to show you the number of sales that have taken place every month for the last 3 years. This is a graph, a visual that I think would be really effective to use working with listings and working with buyers. So anyway, let's get started. Let's have a look. You can see here we got January right through to the end of October now. What did we do in October? 1,334 sales. That was down 3.8% over the month of October. But if we go along, you can see we start at 799 sales. Okay, and then it started to creep up, got very strong here in May. Then, as normal, starts to go down. June turned out to be with 1,921 sales, a strong month. Then we did 1,500 in August. Then we've been going down since then, a little lower, 1,334. What about active listings? 8,000. Roughly right here, which is down 6.9%. Now, if our sales are down 3.8% and our active listings are down 6.9%, that means our months of inventory should also be down, which it is. We were 6.1 months of inventory, now we're 5.9 months of inventory. So if we go back and look, we started at 8.9, very much a buyer's market. 7.5, very much a buyer's market, okay? 6.8, very much a buyer's market. And then we sort of moved in here more balanced. Between 4 and 6 is balanced. That means prices are relatively stable. 5.4, 4.8, 5.2, 4.7, 5.6, 6.1, and 5.9. So you can see your prices in here are relatively stable, which means if we look at prices year over year, guess what? They've hardly moved at all, 1.5% from October of last year to October of this year. So that's what I mean by your market is very stable. Your market in Edmonton, really, in terms of price, hasn't moved all that much over the last few years. But this is good news here. We did 1,234 sales, or we could call it 1, 2, 3, 4. Pretty cool, eh? Or, okay, compared to 1,334 sales, where our sales were actually up 8.1%. So again, fall of this year is a little bit better than what was going on in the fall of last year. Now, I got 2 line graphs. This is the first one. This is your months of inventory. Determines the strength of the market in terms of price, not sales. Nothing to do with number of sales. It's just how many months of inventory. 2017 is right here. You can see we started here at 8, okay, and it dipped down. We got here just, below 5, sort of went along, and we ended up at 6.3 at the end of the year. What happened in 2018? You can see here we started right where we started the year before in 2017. However, it stayed higher, okay, than the year before almost the whole year. You can see what's going on, and we ended at 8.7. Very much a buyer's market. Prices would be weakening right here. Okay, prices will be slightly weakening here at 6.3, but relatively stable. But what about this year? Look we started high, of course, because we finished high, didn't we? Finished at 8.7 months. We started right up here, almost 9. But look what's been going on this year. We went along, and then all of a sudden we dipped below 2018, and we've stayed below 2018 for the whole year, almost right where we were in 2017. You can see here 2017, okay, we had 5.7 months of inventory. Right now we're 5.9. Last year, the same month, we had 7.1. So when I see all of this, I think to myself, what's going on? I think overall this is all really, really good news. Because think about this. You got the federal election over. I know for Alberta, you didn't get the outcome that almost everybody wanted. I totally understand that. But at least now we have certainty. We know what we're dealing with, right? Where when you have uncertainty, everybody doesn't really know what to do. So after an election, everybody gets back to business again. So let's look at sales. So you look and you say, you can see 2017 is right here. We started just over 750, okay? So then we went up, and it was a little bit busier than we've had in the last 3 years, and it sort of crept up to the high point right here of just over 1,950 sales. And then you can see, as the fall comes in, very, very common, our sales tend to drop off. 2018, what happened? You can see we started here a little bit higher, okay, 950 sales. And then what happened, we sort of went below what we did the year before. Do you see the difference? Okay, we get into March here. And then we went just slightly above, but then we ducked below again, okay, slightly above and ducked below again. So we ended weak of last year. But what happened this year? We started the lowest we've started all year, but then what happened? Once we get into April, we went above the last 2 years, okay? And we stayed above, which is pretty cool stuff. Now, we're down here a little bit from last year, but the cool thing, if you look at it, what's starting to happen here is we're staying above, except for right here in August, what we did all of last year. See, the yellow line is last year, the white line is this year. So if you look at that, I look and say, this is very, very good news. Now, you think about it, federal election is over, everybody's back to normal, which is a good thing. So I think November and December of this year, what we're probably going to see is we're probably going to see this line stay above last year's line, maybe get close to matching what we did in 2017. But I suspect 2020 and Edmonton, you're going to start to see some change. You're going to start to see your market probably pick up a little bit. You might even see prices just start to rise a little bit as well, but I think your sales are going to be fairly strong next year. So I hope this was helpful. And at the end of the day, everybody, remember, it's a beautiful life. Make it count.